Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Sam or XJaws, and today I'm bringing you guys a team deathmatch game on the map Kowloon. Notice I said Kowloon and not Calhoun. I used to make that mistake very often, and you guys always pointed that out to me, so I'm trying to get better in the pronunciation department, and if I do make that mistake in the future, I will apologize in advance. Right now, I apologize. But anyway, today I want to talk about switching up my classes. So, as most of my long-term subscribers, or even not so long-term subscribers, if you've been subscribed to me for a week, you've probably noticed that I am sort of like a bread and butter guy when it comes to my classes that I use. I typically will use the same perks, the same attachments, and typically the only thing that will change is like the gun that I'm using in a lot of my videos. You know, I'll stick to Scavenger or Hardline for my first perk 99% of the time, Sleight of Hand for my second perk 90% of the time. Sometimes I'll throw in Steady Aim, and then for my last perk it's almost always Ninja. Rarely will you find me using anything other than Ninja. So in order for me to sort of spice things up, and I know that sounds kind of dumb, just sort of add a little bit more variety to what I use in this game, to hopefully make these videos a little bit more entertaining for you, I'm going to be switching up the stuff that I use. So today, if you want to know what I'm using on this class, instead of me going through it systematically and saying this, and this before I go ahead and talk about the things, I'm just going to throw it up in the top right hand corner of your screen right now. So let's talk about what's in this class. So the first thing, the attachments. Well, I am using Warlord Pro, I should point that out, so that means I can have two attachments. I got the reflex sight and extended mags. So extended mag is pretty simple. I knew that I wasn't going to be using Steady Aim on this class, and I know that Kowloon is one of those maps where I really like to hip fire a lot because of how close quarters a lot of the engagements you get in are, so I decided to go with extended mags to give me a little bit more bullets to spray with. I went with the reflex sight because of the fact that, I don't know if you guys remember, but a long time ago, I think the first week when the game came out, I probably only had like 90,000 subscribers back then, so not that many people are going to remember this, but I talked about using the reflex sight on the Commando and how it worked pretty well, and even though it doesn't actually change the recoil numbers, it feels like the recoil is decreased. And I know a lot of people might think that sounds stupid and might think that that's not a reason to use this scope, but honestly my opinion is if you prefer something, if you really feel that you do better with something, whenever the case, if it's 50% of the time you like the reflex and 50% of the time you like the red dot, use it. I mean, if it feels better to you and you're more comfortable with it, then it's probably a better option for you. So not everything is going to be better all the time for everyone. Just thought I'd say that. So yeah, I went with the reflex sight and it worked out pretty well in this game. So the next thing I want to talk about is the equipment that I'm using. So I went with motion sensor in this game. So if you've been following me for the past month and a half, you probably think the only equipment that I know about is the Claymore, because I haven't changed that on any of my classes in about a month and a half. So the reason why I switched to the motion sensor is actually because I posted a video about 2 or 3 days ago where I talked about my thoughts on Ghost. It was a dual commentary with iTemp, and in that video we talked about how the motion sensor isn't a complete counter to Ghost. And a lot of people pointed out to me that I was right, that it wasn't a complete counter to Ghost, but it does help at least a little bit, and that I should probably try it out if I'm going to talk about how much I don't like Ghost. And you know what? I definitely got to agree with you guys. If I'm going to talk about how much I don't like Ghost, I should probably start using the motion sensor a little bit more, because it definitely helps. It might not be 100% cure for Ghost, but it definitely does help me out quite a bit. So I decided to use that, and I'll probably use that a lot more frequently on a lot of my classes. So the next thing I want to talk about are the perks that I'm using. I am rolling with Scavenger, nothing new, that's something I really like, but what I decided to do was pair Scavenger with Warlord Pro, and the reason why I did that is because not only am I going to start off with 2 Nova Gases and 2 Semtexes, but also I can constantly rack in 2 Nova Gases and 2 Semtexes by picking up Scavenger packs throughout the game. So that's the next thing I want to talk about, or I should say my last perk. The last perk is Tactical Mask Pro because I'm trying to get, or Tactical Mask because I'm trying to get Tactical Mask Pro, but that really doesn't come into play at all in this gameplay. So let's talk a little bit about Nova Gas. So Semtex, nothing new, not going to talk about that grenade, but Nova Gas is something that I never use, and I decided to throw it on there just really for, kicks and giggles. I never use that, and what I found out is that I can't really use it the same way I use a stun grenade, which is sort of the way I expected things to go down. I expected to put it on and just kind of use it as, again, the same way I would use a stun grenade. But what I quickly found out is that the way I use a stun grenade, which is throwing it into a room and immediately entering that room, doesn't work work out well with the Nova Gas. I actually ended up killing myself once when I was injured, because what you do is you create sort of a no-go zone. If you throw a Nova Gas into a room, you better not walk right in there, or even if there's nobody in there from the enemy team, because then you're going to start injuring or possibly killing yourself, and that we know can be pretty humiliating. So that's just what I found when using that, and it's still useful. It's just that I need to sort of learn how to use it, and I know that sounds dumb, learn how to use Nova Gas, but I have to learn how to use it effectively with the way that I play, whether it be offensively or defensively, at any given time, with any given class, any given game mode and map, and all that good stuff. So hopefully that'll be what I'll be working on, along with some other stuff that I was using in the future, trying to improve my game with it. And that's pretty much it, guys. That's the end of the game. Final score was 35 kills and 1 deaths, a 35 KD. If that doesn't deserve a thumbs up, I don't know what does. But yeah, guys, that's the end of the game. And I just wanted to say real quick here, guys, this guy Robot, he made me a pretty sweet background for my YouTube channel. So if you want to go check that out and maybe go subscribe to his channel, there'll be a link to it in the description of this video. He does a lot of stuff with graphics and whatnot, and if you're into that sort of thing, you should go check out his channel. See you guys later. Bye.